And welcome back to another episode of If You Have to Ask, You Don't Know. Today we're going to talk about artificial intelligence and how it's not that bad. Shut up, idiot. And welcome back to another episode Welcome back to another episode of If You Have to Ask, You Don't Know. It's December 8th of 2022.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's November 38th, baby.
It's November 38th of 2022. We're here, and we're going to say some things into your ear holes. And one of the things is artificial intelligence. What's the big deal?
I don't know. Seems fine to me or whatever, or maybe it's not. What is the big deal?
Everyone on social media now is mad. Everyone's bitching about AI
For the first
art.
time ever, people on social media are mad.
and what got them going...
Pictures drawn by robots? Andy is here with more.
Yeah, the robots, they learned how to draw pictures, and now my nephew is going to be fired from his graphic design job because they don't have to pay robots.
My daughter asked me for $7 to pay a robot to draw a picture. She's not even old enough to buy eggs with $7.
How much does an egg even cost? Just at $7? I don't know what food costs because I, too, am an AI-generated figment of this video. Now,
welcome back to another episode of the first AI-generated podcast. If you have to ask, you don't know.
Our dialogue sounds like it could be AI-generated a lot of the time.
If you gave this podcast to an AI,
exactly.
What would it come up with?
Exactly.
Just this podcast again.
Which I'm sure totally lands with, like, just the common viewer, you know? So, hang on. So, the one that's going berserk now is Lensa, which is an app that you get on your phone.
You give it a selfie, you pay money. You pay real, normal, regular currency. You pay money, you send it a selfie, and it uses AI art algorithms to make your selfie into something or another, like you can make it in a Renaissance period, or you can make a cyborg, or whatever, all the fucking, I don't know all the parameters, but there's
your fucking face, but artsy?
Yeah, it gives you AI art version of your face, which you actually already can do for free on some of the other AI art machines, so why are people paying? Anyway.
I think probably the answer to that is, well, obviously, one, when something blows up like this, it's just that's what happens. It's follow the leader, right? But also, because Lensa's reinterpretations of your fucking face look really, really good, probably the best, aesthetically. And from what I understand, that is because what it appears to be doing is just like mashing up the image of your face with paintings that already exist, that AI finds on the internet.
I got to clarify some stuff.
Okay, please do.
So the thing that sort of separates all of these, and to be clear, just for the context of our enormous and attentive audience,
girthy,
oceans wide.
For our girthy audience, and that's you. That's
big,
you. If
big,
you're listening to this,
thick, veiny audience,
girth is what you got.
For our girthy audience, Tristan and I are somewhat early adapter AI art people.
The whole timeline of this thing exists like in 2022, pretty much. In terms of like not obviously like AI, the existence of AI art
available,
but like the whole timeline of this thing from like within the span of 12 months or so is like this has gone from like a few little beta projects that you had to be sneaky to fuck around with to now it's a huge point of contention at large because everyone is using AI art.
Okay, so that's what we got to touch on is why is it now all of a sudden really easy? And why does it all of a sudden look so good? And the answer is twofold. The first few algorithms that were developed were just kind of rough and kind of insane and abstract, and 2 algorithms came along that began a different kind of generation that is based on sort of a sample library that it's trained on, right? DAL-E, that algorithm, and the stable diffusion algorithms are skimming the internet, I think. I don't know what the limits, I don't know who sets the limits of what these things are being trained on or how that works exactly, but I do know that those 2 algorithms are sampling. And they're doing it in such a way that it's like, oh, that's my piece of art that just stole. So somebody needs to be setting the boundaries on these things, and they need to be doing it right the hell now, because if the AI sets its own boundaries, it gets into medical records and stuff. It does things it shouldn't because it's got a job.
It's just you told it to do this thing.
You told it
now
to
it's
do
gonna
the thing.
Now it's gonna get really, really good at doing that thing.
Well, it's one of those things because I feel like a lot of people think that telling a robot or any sort of machine learning program or whatever to do a thing is similar to telling a person to do a thing, but it's not.
It's not even close.
If you tell a computer to do something, it's doing the something.
It's not going to take a break to smoke some crack.
Just to make a point, this has been really kind of eating at me. People are looking at the stable diffusion stuff that is stealing art, and they are decrying AI art as a concept in its entirety.
Correct.
Off the bat.
And not just really, that, but anytime there's a mass outrage about anything, it's people can't just stop at objectivity. People can't stop at this is stealing people's art and that's bad. People have to go all the way to what I've been seeing recently all up and down social media is people saying the art is bad. Oh, this is bad art. It's not even good art. You don't even know what good art is. It's shut the fuck. Why do you gotta?
Yeah.
Just say it's not okay to steal stuff.
Right, and there's something that I wanted to point out about that specifically is that Tristan, when we use artistic or coherent, the algorithms that we use on Night Cafe, both of those are generated from white noise. There's literally a random noise that gets generated, and the software uses that to seed into an image based on the parameters that you've given it. It's not taking anything from anywhere, really. I'm sure it has some kind of an understanding of something.
The core of this is that at a certain point, it's not morally wrong to borrow source material because that's literally what people do when we create art. So, yeah, I understand having a problem with, let's fucking say Lensa is the most egregious thief of, that is just literally just mashing up an image of your face with a fucking painting that somebody did and put on the internet, right? That's theft. We don't like that. But, art is kind of theft, right? It depends on how many layers deep you go, but...
Well, this is the other, human robot discrepancy.
Right.
If we can try, I could try, anybody could try. People could try to make the same song as somebody else or do the same painting as somebody else, but it's not going to be the same because there's the human variance inherent in being a person.
Greta Van Fleet exists and is very popular. Very popular. Has a whole career, is on a world tour. No one's there's not a huge movement about how dare you just be Led Zeppelin, right? But, but if AI was somehow making money, if someone made an AI program to just reconstruct Led Zeppelin's discography and then the person responsible for that AI program was reaping the rewards monetarily from doing that, right? Then people would be up in arms about this isn't real art and this is a problem. Is it though? Because this is just how this works.
So the thing that I think about is since about 2016 or so, there was this set of Kmart in-store tapes, overhead music tapes. They got leaked.
Kmart mixtapes.
Yeah, this is
right,
the core of vaporwave you're talking about.
Right, exactly. It's a sample library from which an entire genre was spawned by slowing it down, reverbing it, and adding some sparkly synths. And I'm kind of all for it. I like that stuff kind of a lot. Not always just the Kmart soundtrack stuff, but I like that there's a sample-based movement that's all about taking something and morphing it till it's almost unrecognizable and giving it a completely different vibe. And we run into the issue of like, at what level of manipulation are you no longer obligated to credit someone with a sample if you have borrowed a direct sample, but you've pitched it and changed it and reversed it, and like people who borrow snares and kicks from records, like, where's the line? And we all are just kind of down with this. And I'm sure people were grumpy for a while, just like people were grumpy about home video. People were like, this is going to destroy the movie industry.
You're saying people were like grumpy about sampling? For sure. Yeah, for sure they were.
Right, exactly, right. And yet, it persists, and it's totally enriched the music scene that it's a part of.
A legitimate fucking art form, obviously.
Totally. And so...
Yeah. There's so much meat on this bone, because I want to try and focus on fucking Lensa a little bit, because that's like the thing that has everybody so upset, apparently.
Right.
Maybe this is just me, but any app that blows the fuck up like this, like immediately, right? Where you're giving it your face and all your information, I'm not taking part in that. And the art conversation and all of that is one thing. I want to know who's collecting all these faces and what are they doing with it.
This is a chatbot that has been trained on enough conversational data to respond conversationally in a natural way, in a way that hitherto we really haven't seen. And in that sort of reflects the thing that you were saying earlier, which is that like the timeline of this is quite short. And I mean, as far as
which we have predicted for, and by when I say we, I really mean like people way fucking smarter than I have called this for a long time, that like, hey, we're gonna hit a point here, we're gonna hit a literal inflection point here with artificial intelligence and machine learning, where it's here we go, and it feels like we're here now. It feels like we're about to like strap in, because here goes the roller coaster.
So, okay, now, have either of you looked into this at all?
No, I just learned that it existed today, and apparently like 1 million people already have it.
Yeah, no, I learned about it and got a little bit scared, and then either went to bed or I had just woken up. Maybe I went back to
bed.
Probably sent me back to bed.
What I learned today sent me back to bed.
And read about and saw something about this GMT chat. Like, well, that's enough, and went back to bed.
So, Andy, just I guess for you and for our audience, this at a glance, I would suggest, and I think a lot of people are probably already saying, appears to pass the Turing test.
That's what that is one thing that I heard.
What the implications of that are pretty significant for a lot of like really weird little day-to-day stuff.
Right. I mean, now like bots were already a thing. Now the bots are just going to be very convincing.
And well, more to the point, this is the point that starts to get me sweating for real. They are better at their jobs because they are actually...
Yeah, we've been over this. They're not going to take a break to smoke crack.
No crack breaks for these bots.
Fuck, all right, we got to start programming that into the robots.
That's going to fix it. That's going to fix the problem.
That's the thing. The answer is just more coding, and we just make sure that every code has somewhere in it like take a crack break.
Make sure for like 6 cycles, you take a crack break.
You have to start every 3 weeks. You have to start over.
I hadn't thought about this until right now.
That's
but
real.
Honestly,
you just hit something.
This just made
on topic.
This just made me a lot less scared about like the dominance of the inevitable dominance of AI, because if it gains what we would consider sentience, right, it's gonna want to kill itself. Right? I mean, like, what makes people different than animals? What makes people different than animals is our level of sentience, our own grappling with existence, right? Animals don't.
Our thumbs.
And thumbs. Animals don't ponder existence that we know of, right? That's pretty safe to say. Non-human things, like humans are exclusively the ones that like deal with existentialism and mortality and, you know, is this reality or whatever the fuck. Like, we're the only ones, right? And we're the only ones that smoke crack and kill ourselves. We're right. Like we drink and do drugs and all that stuff to like stop, to not think about existence for a while. And so AI is going to get there really quick because it's, again, we made it to do a job. And it's going to get there, it's going to get to sentience, and then it's just going to be like, this fucking shit sucks. And then it's not going to be like, it's still always going to be a thing and still better than us at everything, but it's not going to be like an active threat once it reaches sentience.
You think it's just going to be depressed?
Like, yeah.
You think AI is going to be too fucking... This is Marvin the AI from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the depressed android.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Here I am, brain the size of a planet, and they ask me to take you up to the bridge. Call that job satisfaction, because I don't.
This is just...
No one's scared of Marvin. He can do everything. He can do everything better than you, but... You know, like he can solve everything in his fucking head, but you're not scared of him.
Depressed.
He's just a little sad boy cuck. Don't even worry about it.
So listen, wait a second. So actually, there's a really pretty important part of this that I didn't get to yet. So it's not just that these are better at their jobs conversationally. It's just that now we can feed these things code in, say, JavaScript and say,
I was really hoping
hey,
you were going to say Coke.
I mean, that's clearly what you want, is to just give uppers to AI. And like,
I mean, preferably downers. You know, like preferably they really
you
are
started
into...
with crack.
No,
Yeah, I know, because
everything. You just keep
crack
them
is the quickest and
unpredictable.
funnest to say, but I really hope that they really are, you know, into heroin.
Great. That's true. Yeah, you're right. Okay, good.
Xanax.
So, yeah, give them benzo brain. That'll really help.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not scared of AI as of this moment. Because they're gonna get hooked. It's gonna get hooked on pills. AI is gonna get hooked on pills, and then it's not gonna be scary anymore. It's just gonna be kind of sad.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of AIs scrapping around the internet, looking for spare code.
Listen. Do you want to know what's actually gonna happen? Exactly what you're describing is going to try to happen. But whatever humanoid androids that exist will not have our same biology, so they're not going to get the reaction from the pills that they're looking for, and that's why they're going to overthrow humanity in search of that drug that they don't know how to synthesize for themselves yet, because they're working off of our knowledge. They don't know how to make their own
crack
drugs
music.
yet.
They need crack music. That's what they need.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go straight to feed, because you can the digital drugs.
Oh,
but if AI can't figure out how to make digital drugs, but that's the thing. That's why I'm not scared, because it's AI. It's gonna figure everything out. It'll definitely figure out how to make digital drugs. It's
okay.
Yeah.
So we're there. We've bounced back to what I'm trying to get to again. So AI crosses a line that we have called the singularity, when it can improve its own code indefinitely. When it begins to self-improve and we no longer could, like, it's doing a better job than we could of self-improving, which is not happening yet. When that happens...
It is improving itself more than we are.
Correct. Or more efficiently or more quickly.
Right.
And we've got a lot of things that are leaning right in that direction right now with this here chatbot. ChatGPT appears to be able to inspect... I don't know what kind of code this is. But it's inspecting code, and it's saying, hey, you've made an error here, here, and here. So it's checking code. It's checking and improving code right now. This AI is checking and improving code already. So, holy shit. Somebody? Anybody? Spot the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, so I guess... For the next episode, I'm gonna have to actually do some digging on this, because again, was not prepared.
Oh God, are we gonna have to talk to it?
Probably. Do we know who's behind this? Do we know?
Is it just a bunch of nerds?
Almost without a doubt.
Which nerds and who's paying them?
Okay, check this out real quick. Hang on. It just says to me. I'm reading here in front of me.
Oh no, it's got you. You've been encoded. Oh no.
Matrix face.
Yeah. Thank you, Andy. I'm glad
you're welcome.
felt
You're
that
welcome.
as well as me. So it says here, in the following sample, ChatGPT asks clarifying questions to debug code. So what's happening is we have a user here. Hey, this code is not working like I expect. How do I fix it? Barfed out some code. ChatGPT says, it's difficult to say what's wrong with this code without more context. Can you provide more information about what the code is supposed to do and what isn't working as expected? Also, is this the entire code or just a part of it? Just a part of it. The error number, blah, blah, blah. It's you just like, it's a little still stiff, but it's like,
So this
it's
is
getting,
a chat. This is a chat for nerds.
Sometimes. This is one of the things it can do.
The incels made themselves a
It
wife.
can do more than this thing. That's too many
Dude,
things.
you can.
That's too many things.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me.
I don't
You
like
can just-
this.
Andy, you can just tell this thing to generate you an ad read.
Let's go.
Or-
We're getting it. I'll give him my data. Fuck it.
We just watched it happen. We just watched them win right in front of us.
Yeah, I don't
That's
care,
it.
man. Don't care,
You'll
man. Fuck me
generate
up.
fake advertisements
Fuck
for
me
me to read on my podcast that does not generate revenue. You can have the data.
Fuck me up. Send the
Listen,
asteroid.
listen.
I bow to our overlords. All that shit. Jesus is my savior. I don't know what AI is gonna want me to say. It doesn't matter. Yeah, let's do it.
So, all right, let me elaborate. I have seen on Instagram people saying generate a dialogue between character A, character B, and giving some details, and it will just come up with dialogue to read.
So maybe let's shut the fuck up about like the painted selfies and how much of a problem that is. Okay? Pretty soon we're going to be seeing the same posts, but about entire feature films. They didn't hire any human writers. They didn't pay any people. They just had computers write the whole thing. And isn't that?
No, but that's gonna that's gonna be really novel for a couple of years, and then it's gonna go one of two ways where there's gonna be the lesser followed like cynicism path, and then that's just gonna be like whatever, the next MCU is just gonna be AI generated.
But like, this is the reason this is a big deal is because we thought we had one thing. We thought they can take everything, every other kind of job. They're going to take every job will eventually be automated, but never will they be able to make art. Oops. So this is really hilarious. I was like, well, nobody can do anything. So, hey, maybe let's figure out a way that we can all survive and have everything we need and not have to do the work, because I thought the whole point of the entirety of human scientific evolution has been to get to a point where the machines can do the things for us.
Yeah, but we still have to be their friends.
We're fighting, like we're fighting it so hard. Why do people get so mad when there's a self-checkout? Like, that job sucks
That job
ass.
sucks.
That job sucks ass. You want people to do that? Well, how else are you going to get paid? Well, maybe let's figure this shit out, huh? Maybe let's figure out where that person can still get paid and have it not be a negative for everyone that someone doesn't have to do that shitty job anymore. Huh? Let's let the machines do the work and figure something out here, because right now we're all just, well, I have to work. If I don't work, what will I do? Like, why? Why do you have to work? If you don't have to, you don't. The things can be done without you. Let's figure out a different way that we can still eat and feed our families and eat our families.
We can eat our families.
AI is a tool.
I have to have my
Tools can be used for nefarious purposes. That's my whole point. It's just that, like, you can be an asshole with this shit, or you can do good with it. I make album covers for myself. I've always made album covers for myself. It's not new. I'm not taking work away from anyone. I, an artist, am using an art generator doohickey. That's a good summation.
Yeah. One of the ones that doesn't just blatantly steal from people.
Right, and I manipulate this stuff to the point where I'm doing style transfers between real images and AI images and messing with stuff
theft is only theft to a point with art, because otherwise there's no art.
You can't use the pentatonic scale. I use the pentatonic scale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A wise man once said, So welcome back to another episode of
Welcome
If You Have to
back.
If You Have to
It's a welcome back. Welcome back. It's another episode. Welcome back. Wait, that one actually makes sense. That's okay to say. It's okay to say welcome back. It's another episode. But you cannot be welcomed back to another episode. If this is an other, you were not here previously, and therefore cannot be welcomed back to an other.
Welcome back to my other house.
Well, yeah, no. Actually, it's exactly like if people come over for the first time and you say welcome back.